wasn't handsome, nor was it pretty. Wow. But do you know what? At the end of the day, it's a results business. It's a comment that seems to piss off quite a few people. Not everyone, because all fans are different and every fan thinks differently about what their end goal is. My end goal, though, I'll be honest with you, it is the results business. That's what makes me happy right now as a West Ham fan. Do I want to see West Ham shithouse our way to victory every single week for the rest of my life? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. However, while we're getting results, whilst we are in the quarterfinals of the FL Cup, whilst we are top of the Europa League group, qualified for the round of 32, worst case scenario going into potentially the round of 16 for the Europa League, and a European competition for 3 years in a row, I'll take it. David Moyes has played 32, managed 32 West Ham European games, winning 24 in 3 seasons, drawing 3, losing 5, scoring 61 goals, conceding 20 through that whole time, with 14 clean sheets, with a 75% win percentage rate, and of course, winning the Europa Conference League last year. Nobody will take that away from me. Nobody will downplay that competition, and everyone is entitled to their own opinion, and that's fine, but nobody will take away that competition, and nobody can take away the last 3 years of success we've had in Europe. We are entering conversations with people that never really used to have West Ham on the edge of their tongue. You know, my boy goes to school and he stands loud and proud now and talks about how West Ham won again in Europe. And it's now having those conversations. And West Ham have progressed to that stage. Now, let's cut away all that and look at the other stuff. It's not great to watch all the time. Get that. Last night wasn't fantastic to watch. Absolutely not. I mean, it was really dull for the majority of the game. It was really dull. And even I can hold my hands up and say it was really dull. But then again, trying to put things into context, we've traveled to Serbia against our minnow club, and got the job done, albeit it was crap. And sometimes you've got to take the rough with the smooth. And some people think that what West Ham are currently going through is the rough. But what some people think is the rough, some people think is the smooth, because it's, I just can't comprehend. I understand people's mindsets for football. I understand that people want to be entertained, and I get that 100%. I absolutely do. But we've lived and breathed our club through tough times. Me at the age of 40 have witnessed not very many successful seasons. And even when we have had a good season, we've done nothing with the results end of the business. So as much as we can look back to the farewell Upton Park farewell Boleyn season, we had nothing at the end of it to show for it. We didn't then push on and progress, and we didn't go on and get European football consecutively in a row. And this is what we've done now. I hold my hands up and I'll say to you, do I think things will change in the summer with David Moyes? Yes, I do. Of course I do. I don't really know many fans that don't think it would be. I'm just putting respect on his name. It's as simple as that. And to be honest, I don't want to talk about that situation anymore because he's here till the end of the summer, and so be it. But we're punching in this competition, and we're showing again that, you know, we can dig in deep and get the result. Listen, Backa Topola didn't necessarily trouble us too much. Did a couple of attempts. It was nothing major. West Ham were really majorly in control of the game, and we got the job done at the end of the day, and we can walk away and focus now on Crystal Palace. And then every now and then, though, I see an odd comment by going, if we play like that against Crystal Palace, oh, it'll be absolutely dire. But then people said that about Burnley. People said that about Nottingham Forest, and we got out of those situations. It doesn't matter if it was a couple of set-piece goals. It doesn't matter if we scored a couple of late goals against Burnley, because at the end of the day, we got the job done, and that's what it's all about. Essentially, you know, it's a fine line between trying to decide what you want. We want entertaining football. We want results. But do you take that to the detriment of losing a competition? I don't know. It seems to be working for West Ham right now, so long may that continue. But equally, I understand that changes will come. And through change could be, the unknown, the world of the unknown. What is going to happen when West Ham do eventually change manager and do go to the kind of modern, dynamic manager that can get potentially the flamboyant, exciting West Ham from the current crop of players, which, there is some really quality players there. Can they get the best out of it? The other issue we've got is that a lot of those players, and really some of them should hold their heads not held high, like the opposite. Like they've really not, they're not stepping up. And I'm not digging them out, but one of my favourites and a fan favourite of West Ham's is Pablo Fornals, and I don't know what's happened. I really don't know what's happened to Pablo. I don't doubt for a second he's pissed off not getting regular game time. I think he loves the club, and I think he wants to be at the club, and I think he wants to prove his worth there. But equally, though, I genuinely could mean that he might not be at the level of West Ham. And it's the same with Benrahma. He's one of the most wasteful midfielders that plays for our club. But it's funny, when you look at his stats, it's incredible. So sometimes it proves to you that stats can lie, or stats don't lie. Who knows? There's so many variables you can take into consideration here, but I'm not going to lose sight of the fact that we won that game. We won that game. And we were talking in the West Ham Network chat last night, and I was saying that, I would happily shithouse this competition to win it. Because if I knew we could win it by shitting the house in it, so fucking be it. But it won't be shithousing it the whole time. We've had a couple of good games so far this season in Europa League, and I think we can still keep doing it. Freiburg's going to be a tough test. Of course, since they've been beaten by West Ham. Let's not forget we beat Freiburg 3-1. We beat them 3-1, and then they smashed Topola, and we didn't smash Topola. So it's really interesting, again, the variables of it. But I think that game's going to be really telling, again, a big test for West Ham. Both teams vying to push in and top of the league so they can not have to play European football up until March. But if you then finish second, you enter the round of the dropouts of the Champions League, and there's quite a few big contenders in there. But a shout out, though, to Max Corney. A lot of fans, me included, desperate to see him back into the side. I think he's what's currently happening out potentially on that left-hand side, for example, with Benrahma, when we don't have some other players fit, really highlights that he came on and he actually gave us more than what Pablo Fornals and Benrahma did in the game. So Max Corney, for me, is a good shout to start getting a little bit more game time. He looked like he was up for it. He looked like he was bridging that gap between the midfield and the forwards line. I felt sorry for Mbama, of course, because I felt like he was isolated up top. Danny Ings came on, didn't really do anything, of course, as per usual. There's obviously problems in and around parts of the squad that we need to utilize and change. And I think that's going to come. But as things stand, I'm happy. We've walked away. We've travelled to Serbia. What could have been a really big banana skin of a West Ham of old. People get pissed off with the comment, but it's the truth. West Ham of old would have got beaten that game, but we got the job done. We got the job done. It's as simple as that. And you say stats don't lie, or stats sometimes do lie, but these stats can't lie. You've played 32 games in Europe. You've won 24. You've drew 3. We've lost 5. We've scored 61 goals and conceded 20 in Europe throughout 2 Europa League campaigns and a Europa Conference League campaign. Respect the position. Respect the win. That's where I'm at. Please don't abuse me. Come on, you Irons.